Hello and welcome to another video from me, Rough Swordsman Wargamer. It's an open the box and it's an unboxing of a game from a series for which I have a soft spot. It is Zero Leader, the World War II Pacific Theatre solitaire game published by DVG. And this, if you like, is the other side of the coin for this. Corsair Leader, which of course is the Allies against the Japanese in the Pacific, whereas Zero Leader has you playing as the Japanese. And this game, incidentally, is designed by Chuck Seegert, who has added some tweaks and refinements which make it slightly different from Corsair Leader. And I must thank Dennis and everybody at DVG for sending me this review copy, as I've been requested by some of my subscribers to do a playthrough. So thank you very much, everyone at DVG. So, what's all this about? The fiercest serpent may be overcome by a swarm of ants. A quote by Osaruko Yamamoto. So, Zero Leader places you in command of an Imperial Japanese Navy or Imperial Japanese Army Air Force Squadron in the Pacific Theatre during World War II. We have included the Japanese Special Air Attack Units, Kamikaze, to offer you the same decisions the Japanese had to make. In Zero Leader, you are able to take part in the invasion of the Philippines, the attack on Midway, and the defence of Okinawa. And as it says here, there's a huge selection of aircraft to fly, far too many to mention, and bombers as well. And Zero Leader allows you to fight iconic Allied bandits, such as the P-40 Warhawk, the Wildcat, the Corsair, of course, among many others. As the commander of your squadron, you will also face famous bombers, such as the Dauntless Dive Bombers, the Avenger Torpedo Bombers, B-25 Mitchell, and the B-17 Flying Fortress, not to mention the B-29 Super Fortress. Zero Leader is a solitaire game which you can also play cooperatively. New to the Air Leader series is the exclusive Zero Leader versus Corsair Leader crossover rules that allow you to play face-to-face with your opponent playing the Allies. Good luck, Commander! So a Dan Verson game, and as I said, designed by Chuck Seegert. Game scale is operational, players 1, and time 60 to 90 minutes with ages 14 plus. And in the box, which weighs a ton, there is 300 plus full colour cards, 11 full colour counter sheets, one 20 by 15 inch mounted display, 15 full colour campaigns, 5 full colour help sheets, 2 10-sided dice, 1 player log sheet, and the full colour rules booklet. Right, let's get the shrink wrap off. The shrink wrap is off, so let's open the box. First thing we see are the rules, so let's have a look at those. The rules come in at 49 pages, full colour, glossy paper, and will look familiar to those people who already play the Leader series. So game components, sheets, cards and dice, game components, the counters, campaign sheets, the tactical display, how the pilot cards work, and the target cards, the weapons. I won't go through it all. These are the sites you'll be fighting against, as well as the bandits and the bombers, the event cards, how to set it up, a sequence of play which is repeated on the tactical display. So that's all broken down in the rules here. Dogfighting. Corsair Leader brought to the Leader series a different way of fighting bandits. You actually have a dogfight and we'll show you the dogfight board in a moment. And I think Chuck has sort of tweaked that a bit. Air to ground attacks, sights and bandits attack, flying home and being debriefed and getting your victory points. Aces expansion. In the Corsair Leader you could purchase an expansion of Aces to help you in your campaigns, and it looks like it's the same sort of thing here. And there is also a trainee rookies expansion deck that you can get, and you try and promote those from very inexperienced up to something where they're a credit to the squadron. We've got optional rules and info about all the Japanese aircraft, and then the Zero and Corsair Leader crossover rules. And I'm assuming these are to do with it as well. Acknowledgements and the credits. So there we go. Them's the rules. Here's the dogfight board, which, if you have Corsair Leader, you'll recognise it's very similar, and you'll use when your pilots will meet a bandit, which you'll have to get used to because they are the allies this time. And this was a new thing for the Leader series, which first came out in Corsair Leader, and which made the fights between aircraft much more interesting. And Chuck has tweaked this. We've now got manoeuvre involved. So that's for your dogfighting. Here's the mounted tactical display. And as it says here and here, we've got the target and event decks and the target card in the middle. And the planes you use to attack that target will start in these pre-approach areas and scattered about as you try to get to your target will be sights, anti-tank guns, infantry and the like, and the bandits. And as I said earlier, what I like about DVG games is that each game board has the sequence of play printed on it. My only qualm with them is that as a YouTuber, they are a bit shiny. So we have to watch lighting when you video the games. Next up are 15 campaign sheets. So there are 15 different campaigns you can do. I won't show you them all, but here's a selection. Here's Wake Island 1941, and this is an introductory campaign, and there are a goodly amount of those in the 15, which is great if you're new to the system. And on each campaign sheet you have a map of the area, and these numbers here are the target cards you will use and pick out and put on the tactical display. But Chuck has amended these campaign sheets to make it a bit easier for you to find those cards. Before, you used to have to look, pick out the cards and make sure you didn't miss any, but he's put them in numerical order at the bottom of the map. Fantastic. Such a simple idea, but makes it much easier for you to get those target cards out. The available aircraft that we can use, reinforcements that we can get when our original pilots are downed, the bandits for that campaign, and each campaign you can do short, medium or long. So this system is very variable. You want a quick game? Do an introductory short campaign. And down the bottom here we've got the recon and intel levels, which show you how many targets you can pick at the start of each mission, and any intel, which is always good because you can get rid of sights and bandits. Here's Pearl Harbor, of course, another introductory campaign. And moving into 1942, we've got Port Moresby and Lae, and this is a standard campaign. 1944, Rabaul, a skilled campaign, and I'll just show you one more. And this is Luzon 1945, and this is an expert campaign. To record your campaign and the missions it contains, there is a player log which you can photocopy to record your successes or failures. And then there are the player aids. This one is called the player help sheet and summarises all the important information like what type of pilots you can use for each length of campaign, and SO point costs if you wish to promote pilots at the start of your campaign. And here's the other side, and this is new to Zero Leader, maintenance crews. I could be wrong, but I believe Chuck has used some optional rules that were in Corsair Leader and has actually incorporated them into the normal rules for Zero Leader. Here's a list of all the pilot skills you can have for your pilots and what they mean. And a summary of important key terms. And lastly, a summary of the crossover rules, playing the Zero Leader attacker versus the Corsair Leader defender. And vice versa. Next, 11. Yes, I said 11 sheets of counters. Now, I won't go through them all in detail, but they are the usual sort of thick, already punched and rounded counters. Here we can see some of the bombs and such. Something called Samurai Spirit, which sounds like it's the Japanese version of Gung Ho. Some damage markers and counters used for that maintenance I mentioned earlier. Here are the bandits, and you've got to get used to calling the allies the bandits for this version. And just like in the other Air Leader series, you've got them split up by year so you can sort them out, and that makes it easier to get the bandits ready for your campaign. And on the other side of the bandit counters, we've got the sights, and they are many and varied as well. We've got riflemen, light machine guns, and the like. And there's a goodly few sheets of those. And then we've got some admin counters mixed in. Again, all very familiar to you if you already play the Leader series. We've got stress, we've got the markers for the campaign sheets, situational awareness, special events, damage markers, Saki, now that's new. And then we've got your pilots. And each one of these is a separate pilot. So you can see just on this one sheet, you've got a tremendous amount of variability, which makes these games fantastically replayable. And this side shows the pilot coming in low. Not sure if you can see it, little L there. And on the other side, of course, the side to play when your pilot is coming in high. Some more stress markers and damage markers. And these pilots, if I'm not mistaken, are the ace pilots. And just to finish off our quick look at the counters, we have naval sights for certain naval targets. And here are the pilot skills. 2 D10s are included. And here they are, and you can see the 10s have little airplanes on them. Very cool. And then there's a slew of cards. So let's have a look at those. Here are the target cards, which you'll use for the campaign sheets. Here is the number of that card, which you will pick out depending on which campaign you're doing. And these targets show you what it is, how many hits you need to sort of destroy it, how many planes you can take, and the sort of enemies you're going to be meeting in the approaches and the target area, and your rewards. Any special keywords and instructions will be down at the bottom. So that's your targets. And the other thing you'll be using are the event cards. And you'll pick one on your pre-flight over the target and when you're coming home. Some are good, most aren't. The rest of the cards are your pilots. As you saw from the brief look of the counters, there's a load of pilots, and each pilot is represented by 3 cards, which are double-sided for you to promote from newbie to green to average, skilled, veteran, and then legendary. So each pilot has a set of those. So as you can see, there's a ton of cards for them. Also included are 5 cards with recruit on one side and trainee on the other. And I assume these are just sort of showing you the type of cards you'll get in that sort of recruit trainee expansion deck. So this has been an Open the Box, an unboxing of a massive amount in the new Air Leader series. Zero Leader, published by DVG and designed by Chuck Seegert. And once again, many thanks to Dennis and everyone at DVG for kindly sending me this review copy. I shall look forward to playing a campaign for you. Well, I hope you enjoyed that and you found it interesting. If you did and you haven't done so already, it would be great if you would consider subscribing to the channel, because that really does help. Also of great help for the channel is if you push the like button of the video, the thumbs up. And if you want to be informed of other content the channel uploads, then push the bell. Leave a comment. I know there's already been a couple of playthroughs of this, but let me know. What do you think? Also, if you're new to this series of games, has this tweaked your interest? Also, let me know, because I love to read them. Thank you to my subscribers. Thank you very much. And just before I go, if you wish to support the channel a little bit further, well, now you can. You can buy the channel a coffee, and I'll leave a link in the description for that. Or if you prefer, you can push the super thanks button below this video. And either of those donations helps the channel tremendously to keep on ticking along. So, until next time, as always, you take care and goodbye.